Hello guys, it's Luke from the Free Hammers here. Welcome to All the Gear, No Idea, the show that I do on weekends where you control the topics, you control the questions, and you control where the show goes. I've got the computer, I've got the internet. If you've not subscribed here already, please do. But let's get on with the show. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Hello guys, welcome back to the Free Hammers. It's been a little while, it's been a couple of weeks. You might get two videos today. You might get a podcast as well. Me and Paul might put something together at 3 o'clock, so that'd be nice, you know. 2 videos from us, which is rare in a week. Yeah, but it feels like we should make a video. You know, the Premier League is coming back. It's you know, it's more or less 100% confirmed now. We are back. Some of the games are going to be played on BBC for free. 4 games on BBC for free. There's going to be a lot of free-to-air games on Sky as well, apparently. So, yeah, you know, the longer it has gone on, you know, I have missed it. I've missed watching it. It's, you know, it's part of, you know, my weekly routine. You know, you go to work, you build up to the weekend, and then at the weekend, you know, you watch your football at 3 o'clock, and then you catch up on all your Super Sundays and all that. So, you know, it's something to watch again, at least, you know, because it has been. You know, it's been dull with no sport in general, especially, you know, for someone like myself who watches loads of football, the boxing as well. As you all know, I'm a massive boxing fan. I've really missed that, and there've been some big fights that have not happened because of what's been going on in the world. So yeah, I'm not excited in terms for us. In regards to us, I can only see us. To be honest, I think we go down. I really do. I'm still of that mindset. I know a lot of you won't want to hear that, but yeah, I don't see how we stay up, to be honest with you. We have some ridiculously hard fixtures still to play. Listen, both teams on the pitch have the you know, no fans to help them. So all the teams have got the same, you know, positives and negatives going into the game. You know, yes, we'll be playing our games at the London Stadium, but there won't be no one there. You know, sometimes our players do need us to get on their back, you know, to, you know, give them a kick. You know, come on, boys, you need to try a bit harder. And without that, I don't know, it could work both ways. That it would be typical West Ham that they shock us, you know, under these new sort of environment that will be the case for a little while now. You might get better performances. They might perform better without the fans there. You know, maybe because we are such a quite hard fan base, they might perform to a better standard. Or it could be the other way, that, you know, that West Ham do seem to fall into a pattern of, you know, they treat it like a friendly, and it could be that friendly atmosphere, that friendly vibe. One good thing, apparently nearly everyone is fit. Ben Johnson's fit. Jack Wilshere's fit. So you don't know what sort of impact these players could have, especially Jack. You know, if you got, I know a lot of people, you know, they criticise Jack, and rightly so. You know, he's had his injuries. We haven't seen the best of him at all. But, you know, you get a fit Jack Wilshere, live and kicking and ready to go for 8 games, you know, he can make a big difference to our midfield. It's such a shame that the season did sort of come to a stop when it did. You know, we've discussed it many times. You know, Bowen was sort of starting to really show himself, and it looked like that Haller, Bowen, and Antonio was really going to do something. Obviously, Felipe Anderson as well. Now he would have had some time. He looks like he's been training quite hard. So some of these players, you know, they may have had a little think whilst they've been off, you know, in terms of, you know, my performance levels wasn't really there. And this is a chance for me to, you know, get my performance to a good standard, which is what we need. Hello, Isaac. Thanks for joining us in the chat. This is not going to be that long. Just wanted to give like my little opinions on some of the news that's been going on. We'll save it for the podcast a bit later. If you've got any questions or topics, just drop them in the chat here. Also, obviously, Bassett and Gold has gone bankrupt, hasn't it? Listen, whoever does these deals to find our sponsors, I don't know, because West Ham just seem to always have the sponsor that goes bankrupt, don't we? Excel Holidays. We had some other one, didn't we? Where we went bankrupt, and then we had another one where we had a season without a sponsor. I remember as well. So these are all these things that are going on at the minute. We're linked with a few players, but again, you can't read too much into that because we don't know what league we're going to be in. You know, could be in a championship, and then you think you're looking at who you're selling, and what you're going to be looking to bring in them. But if we stay up, again, keep hold of Rice, maybe sell your Andersons on, and then be looking at some of these players we're linked with. I assume we're linked with Gotza. There was another one today. Who was it? Just bear with me, guys. There was another one we was linked with today. And I cannot remember his name. I do apologise, guys. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Oh, Bakayoko. That was it. Bakayoko, the Chelsea guy, former Chelsea guy, playing at Monaco at the minute. Didn't have the best of times at Chelsea, did he? But he is the sort of player we could do with. He's big. We've always been needing a box-to-box midfielder, haven't we? But again, I say we need him if we were to stay up and Souček, signed, which would happen if we stayed up. Souček looks like he could be a top player for us. But again, I suppose you might have to look at it if Rice was to go, and then you have Bakayoko and Souček in the middle. It's quite a decent midfield. That is quite solid. I believe he would be really, really good for us. Like I say, he wasn't that great for Chelsea. But in terms of the quality he could add to West Ham, Bakayoko, I think, would be a fantastic signing. Let me know what you guys think. Mark says, do you think Anderson will make a big impact after his break? He looks sharp from the footage. Yeah, no. I did just mention that, Mark, if you missed it just seconds ago. I said that he looks fit, he looks sharp. I've seen some of his Instagram videos. He looks like he's actually been, during this 7 weeks or 8 weeks, whatever it is, it looks like he's actually been training and taking it seriously, which is good to see. I think Harry Redknapp said it yesterday. I was listening to TalkSport, and he said, footballers nowadays, that different, that they won't just sit and relax. They will, take the career seriously. And you got to hope that we get Anderson. This rest has been great for all the players, in fairness, but obviously every team has that advantage. But for someone like Declan Rice, I look at, who's having a great season, was having a great season for us. The guy's played a lot of football over the last 2 years, for a young lad, for him to get this 7 weeks rest, and it literally is a rest. There was no training for a long time. He's probably been doing some fitness at home. To be away from spotlight mentally, maybe they get rejuvenated, in terms of their passion and their energy towards football, realizing, things like this can happen, it can be taken away. And I look at, especially, say, for the slightly older player, he's not really got anything left to give West Ham, but Zabaleta, 35 years old, you look and how short the career is and stuff like that, and he'd be probably a bit gutted, that he won't actually be able to have a match where he probably says goodbye to the fans. Someone like David Silva as well for Manchester City was definitely leaving the club this year, wasn't he? And you look at that and you think, as someone of that stature, that legendary, like he's a top Premier League, footballer, David Silva, and he won't be able to say goodbye properly to the Man City fans on the pitch. He won't have that moment walking off to the standing ovation, unless they do some sort of testimonial for him at some point when fans are allowed back in. But hopefully these players come back regenerated. We need to be sponsored by debt collectors. We certainly do, Mark. Right, so what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to share. So current news on Google. I'll make it big so you can see it. So current West Ham news is Ryan Fredericks returns to group contact training. Be interesting to see what happens now. Obviously, Ngakia not signing that contract, he was obviously right in there to be, starting right back for us, wasn't he? Before it all sort of shut down. Will he be forced to bring Fredericks in with maybe Ngakia not in the right mindset? I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Just more and more stuff about the Premier League resuming. Some players discussed his future, so like Carlos Sanchez, obviously get rid of him. There you go. The news I was talking about there. West Ham want Timio Bakayoko. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Not much else really. Obviously, Yarmolenko's fit as well, guys. A player who's got goals in him. Getting another one. Not seen the most of him in terms of playing stuff, but another one that's back. So Diagano as well. If the championship doesn't get underway, I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Do we have a right to play him? I don't know. I'm not sure how the rules work out. If it wasn't for the relegation fight, I don't think I'd be excited about the season starting up again. Thoughts you, Luke? If we wasn't in a relegation fight, I don't think I'd be excited about it. Yeah, I think that's a fair point, Isaac, actually. Excited. I don't think I'd be excited. I'm not excited. I'm excited to watch football, but I'm not excited to watch West Ham. If you understand that, can you understand that logic? West Ham is just pain and a roller coaster of emotions. They give you some of the best times of your life, and then sort of what the last 5 seasons have been just pain and circus act. And I don't know whether we have got what it takes to stay up. I really don't. I really hope we don't go down. I was just watching Gonzo's video there on Hamish Church just before I decided to do this, and he says about relegation. To him it doesn't bother him. We've been through it before, etc., etc. I just don't want it. I don't want it again. I do not want to go down again. Laughing stock in the championship. I don't know. Michelle Irons says, "What makes you love West Ham?" Born and bred, Canning Town boy. Went to my first game when I was about, I think I was 8. My first game, I think it was West Ham Nottingham Forest or West Ham Norwich. Robbie Slater scored. I don't know. It's just it's all I've known. It's all I've known. West Ham, a season ticket holder for a long, long time until my daughter was born, and it sort of changed things a little bit. I loved what we were in the 90s. We were never a winning team. You could never call a West Ham fan a glory hunter. We've had the joy of having some wonderful players to watch as well over the years. I think you could call us slightly underachieving team. Some of the teams we've had Premier League era. I'm thinking of the Paolo Di Canio season, the Dimitri Payet season. There's a couple of those teams you could look at and go, they probably should have won a cup of something, or had a run in Europe. Yes, we qualified for Europe with Paolo, qualified for Europe with Payet, but again, it was half-hearted efforts. Obviously the Payet era, we went out to Steaua Bucharest, a rare mistake from Stevie Potts, and obviously Payet, we went out to Astragugu more or less twice in a row, weren't it? So that underachievement in Europe, I don't like. I think when you look at teams like Wolves, even Fulham a few years ago reached the Europa League final, didn't they? Middlesbrough, I think, have also done really, really well a few years ago. And you look at that and think, why are West Ham not doing that? Why are West Ham not, sort of a consistent, solid Europa League team? I'm not saying Champions League, that's a bit out of our depth. at the moment. It's a long way away and it's a very hard, ceiling to break. But in terms of Europa League, West Ham need to be consistently sort of getting into that competition. And that's what I'd like to see eventually. Whether we'll do it under these owners, I very much doubt. We may still have, a good 5 to 10 years of pain left before anything changes. But to love West Ham, it's a hard one to explain fully, but it's all I know. And all I'll ever know, I will never support another club. I've got clubs I like to watch, but never a club I support. Thanks for the question. So like I say, we'll probably do a podcast later. Paul says yes. I did text him this morning. I said, do you fancy doing something about 3 o'clock? So hopefully, about 3, possibly, we'll do a sort of little podcast for you where we have more views and discuss a little bit more about what's going on. I can't wait to see the new kit, actually. That is one thing I'm actually really excited about. I'm really excited about seeing what the new kit is. Obviously, like I say, it is the 125th anniversary. So I'm expecting them to pull something quite nice out, actually, something a little bit special. We all remember the 100th anniversary with the 99 kit. That's one of my first kits I ever, with the 95 kit, sorry. With the bubbles and the hundreds on. That's one of the first kits I ever owned, actually, as a kid. I'm expecting something nice. Hopefully, we'll find out in the next few weeks. Usually, the kits sort of start leaking now, don't they? But obviously, again, I assume the rules are with the sponsorship deal is that you have to wear your kit till the season ends. Or is it to a certain date and then we can wear our new kit? I don't know. There must be some sort of rule in terms of, when your current kit runs out. I don't know. Staying up is all about bottle for us and holding our nerve. And if we get relegated, main difference is we don't have Upton Park to help us, and the new stadium will frighten. No team will love it. I agree, mate. It's bottle. And I question West Ham's bottle. I really do. I'm just going to lie that slightly. I question our bottle. For years, we've been a team that have lost from winning positions, drawn from winning positions, lost from drawing positions. When we concede, heads go down. There's a real lack of character and bottle, like you say, mate. I remember a Pardew team, love him or hate Pardew. That season we held the record, apart from, I think, Man United, I think it was, for being a team that could come from behind. And I remember Pyatt era, we'd go 1-0 down in that last season at Upton Park. There wasn't a fear. We got 2 goals in us, we can get back in this. Where now we go 1-0 down or we're 1-0 up and it goes 1-1. As a fan base as well, you start thinking, I don't think these have got the minerals to do this. Hopefully the rest has helped us and it will change. But we won't know until we play them sort of first couple of games. I'm not fancying the Wolves game at all. I've seen a lot of channels talking about it. They've been on the ball a bit more in terms of the personal fitness and doing more training. So they're probably about 2 weeks in front of most teams. So Wolves is probably one of the hardest teams to play at the moment. And obviously they are a fantastic side anyway. Until we get relegated, and if you do have to stay positive, all fit, we have a decent side. Yeah. Let's look at the positive in that. Like you say, Mark, we have got, when it ticks, a very good side. A very, very decent side. If the players, are on it, play to their best ability. I think, someone like Bowen now, that's what you've got to look at. Bowen coming, he scored straight away. Bowen now would have had a bit more time, especially with his contact training now. We have 2 or 3 weeks now to, get a bit more training, know the players a bit more. Hopefully the break, what I'm hoping for really is, someone who really needed confidence helped was Haller. And I'm hoping, this little break, has helped him regroup, helped his thoughts regroup a little bit. And you forget what's gone a little bit. You forget about, it wasn't really working out for him totally. And some of it his fault, some of it, he wasn't given support in terms of the runners and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully we will see that. Obviously, Antonio as well has had a rest, because we were renowned for rushing Antonio back, and then you get those short bursts of performances from him, then he breaks down again. So now, hopefully, we will have a fit Antonio, a fit Wilshere, a fit Noble, a fit all over the park, and it could only be a good thing. So Mark says the away kit this year was superb. Yeah, it was a beautiful kit. This year's away kit was a stunning tribute to the 1980 FA Cup final. Something along those lines would be really, really good, wouldn't it? It'd be really nice. Very interesting to see the kits. I can't wait. Can't wait to see what the kits are saying. Unless some more questions come in a minute, guys, I think I'll leave it till later, and we'll have a little chat later about in terms of a podcast format, which is a bit more fun, because obviously you get Paul's views then. And hopefully we may get Leon. I'll try and get Leon as well. Until then, guys, thanks for staying loyal. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Join us later if we are back at 3:30. I'm hoping we will be 3:30. Me and Paul will be back for a podcast. Until then, come on, you ones. Thanks for joining. Keep believing. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go.